The Donald W. Reynolds Governor's Cup statewide business plan competition took place recently, and the creativity of the undergraduate and graduate submissions was clearly evident. A tri-state competition has evolved in recent years to give would-be business plans a greater national platform. The state winners from Arkansas did well at the tri-state level, and one faculty advisor seems to have the winning formula. John Brown University's Mandy Moore toughens up these entrepreneurs in the making for the competition. She knows a thing or two about them. She was a business plan competitor herself when she was in school. Well, we sat down this week with Professor Mandy Moore at the conference room of the Arkansas Capital Corporation to find out more about this program and, more importantly, about these entrepreneurs of tomorrow. Let's talk about, everybody I think understands what a business plan is, but what is it? What was it for you when you kind of went through it for that first time? I mean, what kind of surprised you and opened your eyes up?
Well, I didn't know what was in a business plan. I was a marketing student and I knew what was in a marketing plan, but I really didn't know. And I've seen like 5-page business plans online and things like that, but I really had to Google to find the key components of a business plan. And so it was a lot more challenging than what I anticipated. It's extremely detailed. And for this competition, I mean, it's a 30-page business plan with a lot of supporting documents, so it can end up being 60 pages single-spaced. And so it was challenging to do that. I think the most surprising part was to really plan for 5 years in a business. That's what you have to include in the business plan, and anticipate expenses and forecast sales. And so it didn't include everything we had in our textbooks. We had to go out and find information. And I think as a student, that was the most surprising piece. I didn't know it all.
Yeah. Well, they don't teach you that. One of the things about the Governor's competition is that there's also a lot of interaction with the judges, and you get comments back, and there's ultimately, if you progress far enough, you get some direct questioning from some people to make you tougher, stronger, and better. Tell viewers and listeners a little bit about that process, because it's a bit grueling and a little nerve-wracking.
Yes, it is. That was almost a traumatic experience as a student, and because you aren't exposed to that in undergraduate, I don't think. You might have a professor question you, but then you walk away and you think, the professor, no, I don't know. But this is external pressure from people that know a lot and that are very successful people. And so it is challenging for the students. In my class, one of the learning objectives in my course is that they learn how to accept criticism. And so in this experience, the judges, they aren't mean. They give real feedback like most of us get in our professional work, but it's our students' first experience to that. And so that's challenging for them. But if there's a hole in your business plan, they're going to see it, and that's where they'll go. And so we talk with our students about the importance of really listening to what people are saying and taking that criticism and not being defensive when they receive that. And I think that's what is unique about this. With most college projects, students turn it in and then they're done with it. With this process, there are so many stages to the competition. They really need to listen to that advice that they're getting from previous judges so that they can improve it always. And so, but it's a good experience. The students, after the end of it, they feel like they've been running a marathon. They feel like they've achieved a lot, but there are parts of it that you wonder why you did it.
This year there were two very successful plans that came out of John Brown University.
Yes.
Tell me about each of the different business plans that came out, and actually one won the state, one won the regional.
Yeah.
And beat the state winner that beat it out.
That's right. Yeah. Well, what happened was, we have one student. He was a freshman at John Brown University, and he moved into the dorm room in J. Alvin, and he looked at his closet, and he couldn't fit all his clothes from home into his dorm closet. So for the first time, he was experiencing a frustration with not having enough closet space.
And this was a guy, not a girl, too.
This was a guy, exactly. Yeah, a freshman guy in his dorm room. And he thought there's got to be a better way to hang clothes in a closet. And so he reinvented the common everyday clothes hanger. And it really is one of those ideas where we're hitting ourselves thinking, why didn't we think of that?
What's special about this clothes hanger?
Well, what it does is it saves several inches off the hook of the hanger. And so if you look at your hanger, there are several inches of unutilized space. And what this hanger does is it lifts your clothes higher so that you can fit an additional closet rod in your closet or storage bins underneath it. And so he invented that when he was a freshman at JBU, and he went through the patent process by himself, got approved the first time through, which is extremely rare. And for the firm that helped him with the patent process, it was just voted best invention of the year. And so this year, it's his senior year. He graduated in 3 years. And he came to me and said, I want to develop this business plan for this product. And I asked him, are you ready to have me tear it apart? Because this has become your baby, and you've invested a lot of money to get the patent. And he said, I am. And he said, I need to put a team together. So he put a team together, and he developed a business plan for the product that he invented in his dorm room his freshman
year.
What's
the name of it?
Hire Hangers, and you can go to hirehangers.com or go to Twitter and search for Hire Hangers, and you can look at their updates and how he's progressing with that. And so right now he's trying to decide, do I develop this company myself and actually have a company where I reinvent the everyday things, or do I license this invention to someone else? And how many college projects do you get to wrestle with those things? And that's really great. Now, they won second place in the state of Arkansas and $10,000, but then when they went to tri-state competition in Las Vegas, they did win first place and an additional $25,000.
Wow. Well, that'll go a little ways
in
helping him decide where he wants to go with that.
It will.
Now, what was there was another project from JBU as well, and it won the state, but didn't win at the tri-state level.
That's correct. That's correct. And this, all the way through the process with these two teams, I always told them, I don't know which one of you I would select because you both have such good business plans, but they're very different. Creatively Mine is the second group, and they were in my class last fall, and one of the projects they had to do to kind of think of business ideas, they look at things that frustrate them. They interview moms and ask them, is there a product that you can't find out in the marketplace that you think, why isn't that out there? I want this. And they found that little girls love to play, dress up, design their own clothes. And they thought, I wonder if you could take the Build-A-Bear concept, we all know Build-A-Bear, and apply it to little girls' dresses. And there are all these websites like stardoll.com where little girls go on and they design their own clothes, but girls can't purchase those outfits that they design. It's just make-believe. And so these students came up with the concept of developing a website where little girls can go on, they can play dress up, but they can actually buy that dress. And they have several silhouettes where you customize with fabric options. And they worked with a fashion designer from Hollywood to help develop the concept. And they did win first in the state. They had an exceptional business plan as well. And in Las Vegas, they didn't win first or second, but honestly, they have an exceptional business plan. And some members of their team, they're wanting to start the business just right now, getting funding. It's challenging to get the startup capital, especially when you're 21 years old.
Right. So tell me, what options are out there for them on that? Where do they go? Do they go to the traditional bank and look for somebody that believes in their product and, hey, I've got a pretty comprehensive business plan that's been put through the ringer?
Yes.
Or are there other places that they go and search?
Yeah, they can look at small business loan options. They plan to use some of the prize money from the competition, and it's substantial. You know, my students won $60,000 this semester. That's a lot of money. I think we would like that amount of money, and so that helps tremendously. But also through this experience, what's so great, I received a letter last week from one of the judges, and he works for a bank, and he said, those two teams, if they're interested in funding, please have them come talk to me. And so they'll do that. And the judges also will tell the students, after you get your initial round of funding, if you need a second, round of funding, come talk to me. So the doors are opened a lot more than even for my husband, who's an executive of a company, to go and get funding. They have connections that would be difficult if you were just an average person that runs a business trying to get these contacts.